What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Cheyenne. Guys, I already actually recorded this once. I was making my video from my last game at Masters, and I started going on this tangent about Orcs and Goblins, about ETC, about the new book, and I decided just to make this video here just to kind of air out my grievances, okay? This video is about two different things. It's about the ETC vote for Orcs and Goblins, the old book, to be used, as well as just problems in the Orcs and Goblin book to begin with. But I'm going to start off with the ETC vote because that is more of... I kind of get lost when I start talking about both together, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick with one for the beginning. So first of all, I've been to about 6 ETCs, I want to say. Greece, Spain, Serbia, Croatia, Italy. This is be my 6th. I didn't go to the one in, I think it was Serbia again. That was during the pandemic. That's the only one I didn't go to. Each time I've gone to an ETC, there's been some broken bullshit that has been allowed. Okay, first year I remember was the Sky Sloops. Sky Sloops all had fucking laser pointed cannon, like bolt throwers, just shooting everywhere. But ever since then, I've had I played against Demon Legions that had an alpha book, Vermin Swarms that had an alpha book, KOE that had an alpha book. There's more that had alpha books, Saurian Ancients, and whenever the books came out, there was never a vote. It was always just kind of like, just play against it. And you know what? I did. I always have, right? For some reason, this is the first year that they were just like, well, let's just have a vote for Orcs and Goblins. And I'm against that, obviously. That's obviously why I'm probably making the video. But not for the reasons you think. I feel like the Ninth Age in general, they're trying to move forward with designing their own stuff that's moving further and further away from Warhammer 8th edition. Alright? Doing so, this should be the new book for Orcs and Goblins. This should be what we're moving forward to in Orcs and Goblins. There was upheaval from the people who voted against it. Probably the same people who don't want to update their phones because they don't want change, okay? But people who were like, oh, wait, why are we going to allow this? There's going to be broken stuff. Man, there's always broken stuff at every fucking ETC. There's 8 players on a team. One person's going to deal with some broken shit regardless, okay? So, but people are like, well, let's vote against it. Let's see what happens, right? The vote went 50-50, okay? The vote was a week long. It went 50-50. 11 votes went to go for the new book. 11 votes went for the old book. 2 of the votes that went for the new book were counted out because those teams are not going to be attending ETC. Those teams, I can be straightforward here, and they could correct me or not, but aren't going to ETC this year because it's fucking expensive, man. The fucking ETC is retardedly expensive for this mega hotel. Okay? So now 2 captains don't get their vote that really mattered, okay? So now the vote went to the other side. It went to the old vote. Again, it's scary to move forward. Now, the one of the things that really irked me immediately about this is, it's dumb to not move forward. It's dumb to just try to stay in the past and stay in if we're going to move on with the books, you might as well just get used to it. You might as well just try to realize that meta's going to shift and shift again and shift again. Okay? So, and realistically, how many Orc and Goblin players are going to destroy your plans from the list that you just built anyways? Okay? You're probably not even going to play. There's a possibility you don't play Orcs and Goblins. Okay? But second off, is and I'll get to the problems with that book to begin with at the end, the second half of this video. But the second thing about the ETC vote going this way is, you know, I try to make a stink about it, but then I realize it's so stupid because all I'm gonna get is trolled by people on the ETC chat, and you know what? I'm not here to even argue with them, okay? Or entertain their ideas, but tournaments from now until ETC are most likely going to be with the new book. Buckeye Battles, which is the premier US tournament, okay, is going to be playing with the new rules. I have no problem with Jeff playing that because that's what has been presented. T9A has presented, this is the new book of Orcs and Goblins. Play with it. Jeff hates the book. Jeff has mentioned numerous times to me how much he hates the book. I have problems with that book, and I'll explain later. But he is still playing with the new book. Okay? This is a tournament that draws about 100 people usually. It hasn't been 100 people since the pandemic, but it's a tournament that my friends are going to be at. It's a tournament that is the last major US tournament before ETC. I don't like to say it's the practice tournament for ETC, but that is what happens every year. And Jeff even knows that this is the tournament that any North American player goes to, is their last chance to figure out their lists before going to ETC. I can't even go to it, because if I go to it, I have to play the new list of Orcs and Goblins. If I play the new list of Orcs and Goblins, it doesn't mean no benefit for ETC, which is literally like the next month, or a couple weeks actually, or something like that. So now I'm not going to see my friends. Now I'm not going to go to a tournament. And you know what? Boo-hoo-hoo, James. Oh, you can't go, James. Whatever, right? But it's not only me. It's other tournaments in other countries. It's limiting, okay? And then immediately after the vote was cast, the Spring Filling Tournament, which a lot of ETC players are in the Spring Team Tournament, I get a message from the admin asking for a new Orc and Goblin list for the new Orc and Goblins. And I'm like, well, now we're playing old Orcs and Goblins at ETC. And he goes, well, we want to keep up with everybody. Everybody wants to switch to new Orcs and Goblins. Well, what's the fucking point? Why would I even bother with this fucking tournament when they're playing the new rules, when another tournament wants me to play the old rules? And honestly, the ETC should take precedent in a sense that I am going as a team player, and I want to be the best that I can with that army. Why would I be like fucking up my rules? Why would I be fucking up my list? Why wouldn't I not just practice with my list over and over and over again until I get there? And that's just me. There's other people too. And the thing is, like I said, there's not that many Orc and Goblin players out there to begin with, okay? So you're limiting the player base that barely plays this anyways, because 90-something%, or well, technically 50% of players are scared of change. Oh man, I was so livid. I'm so irritated with it. And nothing against Frederick, who ran the vote. I understand he's just the guy who's running the vote, and he just was trying to be bipartisan and do the whole thing, right? But like I said, the vote shouldn't even have existed in the first place. Going into the flaws of the book, that's a whole nother story, okay? The new Orc and Goblin book isn't even that good. People are so afraid of goblins. But realistically, the orc portion of that book sucks. I don't care what you say. You could say, oh, they're stubborn characters. Oh, they're stubborn orcs. Oh, trolls are no longer stupid. You know what? You can say all that shit all you want, all right? Trolls don't have a puke. Trolls don't have an attack. Trolls don't break armor. People are like, oh, trolls are an anvil. No, you don't understand. No, everything in the fucking book's an anvil, okay? You have an unbreakable monster, which is probably my favorite part, okay? But you have an unbreakable monster. You have hordes and hordes and hordes. Why do you need... Your hordes are there to hold a steadfast. Your hordes are there to beat anvils. Once you hold something, you can't destroy it, because nothing in the army, besides some goblin characters and goblin heroes, have a punch. Nothing in the army breaks armor. Nothing in the army destroys a unit, okay? And the rock, paper, scissors world is like, oh, well, I'm going to just have a lot of armor-piercing 0 attacks, or armor-piercing 1 attacks. And realistically, it just does nothing. A horde, you can get 50 fucking orcs, okay? 50 orcs, okay? Their leadership 6 with a champion, their leadership 7. A enemy, Alpha Carnosaur, what's the word? A Bull Shamut, some character on some big mount that causes fear, charges. A single character. Doesn't even have to be a monster. Just could be any character. Could be a ogre general with a tusker on a mammoth hunter. You know, a mammoth hunter, whatever. On a tusker. Charges in. Causes fear. Okay? There's no fearless in the Savage Orcs. There's no fearless in any of the orcs. Any of the orcs. All of them are fearful now. Challenges up. Your champ takes it. Your champ dies a horrible, horrible death. Okay? The unit is now leadership 5. Okay? People are like, oh, no, it's leadership 7. No, it's not leadership 7. Your champ was 7. The unit's 6. The character causes fear. Your leadership 5. You're going to lose your steadfast more times than not. Oh, but it's minimized. No, it doesn't matter. Your leadership 5. You're going to lose that unit that couldn't even break that guy's armor to begin with. Okay? You just lost 50 orcs for fucking a single guy charging in and killing your champ. I don't care how you put that. Okay? It's stupid. A goblin unit, goblin wolf riders, could die and cause your giant orc block to run away because nothing is insignificant. The only thing that's insignificant is like grotlings. Okay? You have orc general, lost +1 on the impact hits on chariot, lost 1 strength. He lost the rider. For some reason, beasties, which are dogs and spiders, get 2 attacks, but the boars 1 attack. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, you could spend roughly 540 points, okay, to try to make a kitted out lord on a chariot or on a boar or on a wyvern, all roughly around the same, like say 480 to like 580 or something like that points, and they do a worse job at keeping your army together than a goblin wizard, which you don't even have to buy the master. You could buy a goblin adept wizard as your general, and they have the same leadership. They have a less likely chance of getting shot off because you just put them in a big horde. So of course, goblins are an issue, or not an issue, I'm sorry. Goblins are the only thing that got any love in this book. Orcs got a lot of hate in this book, and no matter how you put it, they got nerfed. Okay, their strength got lowered. Honestly, I would have been. This is just between me and the camera. Obviously, you guys could disagree, agree. I don't really. Not that I don't care. I do care. Okay, obviously I care. I'm making a fucking video about it. Okay, but they're not going to change it. They're not going to do any great idea that you throw out there. They're going to do what they do. That's exactly what the people who write the books do. They're going to do what they do. And they're going to be like, well, that's too powerful. And then somebody's going to play test it. And somebody's going to be like, well, I won this one scenario with this. And that's too broken. No. I think, honestly, Savage Orc should be Strength 5, AP 0. That's simple. It doesn't solve the AP problem, but it does make them still strong orcs that could kill some shit. Okay, and hopefully you get enough ones, because I think their weapons should be crude weapons. I think their weapons do have armor piercing problems, but I don't think that they should be leadership 6 and fear could be affected by fear. I think they should be fearless. What's the other one? The orc loners, they're just too expensive. They're too expensive for what they do. You know, and people are like, oh, they're cowboys that are stubborn. Yeah, for like 560 points, 590 points. You know what I mean? Like, they can't join a unit. They're just stuck out there. They get shot by anything. They're dead. You literally could spend, and this is my biggest issue, is you could have a orc general or a orc loner out there, right? And you can't even get a second character to put any unit to actually give that unit any fighting potential unless he's your general. Or you could just buy several goblin maulers who do a great job at breaking AP, do a great job of attacking with hatred and battle focus for like 40 points. And I understand I am shooting myself in the foot here that is the most broken thing in the book, is the goblin characters. But why would you spend 500 points on an orc general when you can spend 120 points on 3 goblin characters who will do a better job than your orc general. There's no weapons that the orc general can take that are worth what those 3 goblins are. And then if you take an all goblin army, now you get 6 of them. So now you have 6 of them with war machines and all the goblin tricks. There's no point at all that I would want to take an orc army. I would love to. Me, personally, I would love to take an orc army. Orcs don't have love in this book. Okay? The ETC vote sucked. I think it's stupid. I'm going to be straightforward. I'm going to think it's stupid. I think that it's limited in hindsight. And the ETC itself, they just... Again, I have nothing wrong with Frederick. But like minutes after that, they were like, well, let's just bring ESC, the new orc book. Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be fun. That is also retarded because now you're saying that play the new orcs at ESC, but play the old orcs at ETC. First of all, I can only carry so many orcs in my carrying case. And with the differences in the books, why would I bring orcs? I would just bring goblins. And then I would bring war machines. But in my current old list, I don't have any, like I just have like a unit of 20 goblins and no war machines. So it's like, it's so split. It's sending the wrong message if you want to move forward with a new book. It's just sending the wrong message. Yeah. And to top it off, the book I'm just not a fan of. I am not a fan of it. I mean, I would love to play and try out different options and opportunities with it, but then at the same time, that's limiting myself on what I should be focusing on. And I should be focused on make sure I bring the best list possible for my team. Yeah. That's all I got to say, man. New book sucks. The ETC vote sucked. Everything sucks. I'm doing great, though. Take care, man. Peace.